All right, so another thing that I've noticed, okay, in the shelter, they got men and women in there in the same dorm, which is pretty cool, right? But so a lot of them are junkies, but they ask you if you have any needles, anything sharp that'll poke them with something, right? Because when you come in, they search you for weapons, for needles, and all that, right? But yet and still, when you go into the male bathroom, now what I've noticed here in Burlington, Vermont, in the public, they have needle syringe capsules, storage boxes where you could like throw away needles and shit. And all, maybe that's a northern thing, I don't know, but this Burlington, Vermont's the only place I've seen them at. Across the street from the housing department, it was these small little bushes. There's needles all in the motherfucker. I mean, like syringes, people shooting up and just throwing it in this little or whatever it is, like in the public on the street. Syringes all in that motherfucker. Like you can just pick them all up off the ground and shit, yo. They everywhere. It's a syringe crisis here in Burlington, just laying around. I'm telling you, with shit still in them, all kind of crazy shit. You can see the shit. So they search you in the shelter for needles or whatever, right? But when you go in the male bathroom, you look inside the little needle disposable thing. Is needles all in there? How the fuck these needles get in? Who are they sticking with these needles? Who bringing the needles in? Is it the females sneaking the needles in and they pussy or wherever for their boyfriends to shoot up in the bathroom? If they search us for needles and drugs, how the fuck are needles popping up inside the needle syringe? So they sticking people must be in their sleep or something in that shelter. Because how the fuck, if they searching people, unless the agents are bringing them in, because the agents are not getting searched, or they're getting searched, but when everybody go to sleep or whatever, they got special permission to just walk through with whatever they have. Some people come in that bitch looking like doctors with briefcases and shit that they holding on. They got fake people riding around in wheelchairs and that can walk. They can walk fine. They get up and walk around and that shit, but then they sit in the wheelchair like they Magneto or somebody working for, like they X-Men or somebody. And that's weird. But they playing with syringes, and that's very, very, very dangerous. The whole city is flooded with them. I thought that they were just sneaking them in there to try to like stick me with them shits. But when I get out in the city, they all over there like it's a crisis. The first place I've ever seen that has syringe disposable things all in the bathroom. When you go to the library, they have this beautiful little fantasy of these little kids playing, like a painting of pictures of little kids playing, holding hands, singing in the library. Painting the library as a great place, in which all libraries should be. But the reality is when you go inside the library in the morning, there's junkies lined up in that bitch waiting to get, to go in the bathroom to shoot themselves up. One of them was shooting himself up so bad, the motherfucker was gone, bro. And I say, damn, bro. But it's weird. It's weird, man. It's a weird little place. But the fantasy is so beautiful of the little pictures, little kids just playing, holding hands, laughing. Yeah, at that same library. It's called, the Burlington Library or whatever. It got the little advertising going on. When you go in that bitch, it's Junkie City, boys. But they changed it now that I was here because they've been probing me, and they realized, oh, this nigga, he ain't this, he ain't that. So they start trying to. I ain't see the junkies that the last couple times I went there before I started working. But anyway, I just wanted to state that, let that, put that out there. Syringe. Syringe paradise. It's a lot of fucking syringes here, man. A lot of people shooting up, bro. And they got them heavily inside the shelter where they supposedly check you for needles and shit like that every time you check in. But yet and still, the male bathroom still flooded with them bitches. Who's using these needles? The bottom of my feet hurt too. That shit wasn't hurting when I went to sleep, but now all of a sudden that shit hurt. But yeah, these syringes are You know, how the fuck they keep getting in the shelter, and what are they doing with them? Who are they sticking with them when they sleep or whatever? Because they in there and they searching for them when you come in there. So that's weird, man. Or maybe they're allowed to have them long as they show them, but I ain't never seen nobody show them, show needles. But they in that motherfucker. You know, they in there. And the junkies in there. Anyway, though, catch y'all in the next video. Stay safe and peace out.